So, yeah, ito na. Participants on Zoom can actually join. All right, perfect. Okay, so again, I'm Coach Shannon. Nice to meet everyone, and I'm really glad to see a lot of new faces and some old faces today. Okay, so today we're going to talk about IELTS speaking. We're going to do a more intricate um, discussion on how parts one, two, and three go. Okay, as you know, your IELTS has four subtests. In chronological order, we have listening, reading, and writing. And lastly is speaking. It's actually the isolated test because it comes after a 1 hour break, lunch break, if you're going to take the computer based test. But with the pen and paper based test, which is not available here in Cabanatuan branch, it may be available in Pampanga or in Manila. So kindly ask Sir Roel for assistance if you're going to take up pen and paper based tests. But usually, most students nowadays they take the computer based test. So that's how it goes. 1 hour for each test. It starts at 9, ends at around a quarter to 12, something like that. It depends on how fast students can accomplish their tests. Okay? Pero 1 hour talaga allotted per subtest. And for the speaking test, it's the shortest among the four. It only takes a maximum of 15 minutes to be accomplished. And yes, you will be speaking live with an interviewer, an examiner. And yes, we're going to discuss all the three parts of your speaking subtest today. All right. So, who among you feels intimidated when undergoing an interview? I guess everyone, right? Sino naman kasi yung confident agad, right? And I feel like even me, if I'm going to undergo an interview, I'd always be nervous, anxious, probably hesitant because I wouldn't know what to expect, right? So that's why you're here in a review center, so that we can prepare you so that you can also get knowledgeable about things that you are going to expect, okay? And I'm not saying that this will be the exact things that will come out in your interview, but most likely, because questions in interviews are being recycled. So, pinaparaphrase lang nila sa iba't ibang tanong, but basically the topics, the nature, and the flow is the same. Actually, the questions that we will be encountering in our one-on-one coaching sessions are more difficult compared to the real exam because I've been studying the PDF file provided by Niner English Cabanatuan, and the questions there are far more difficult compared to the actual IELTS test. But then again, we need to prepare you for difficult level so that when it comes to the exam, kayang-kaya nyo na, right? So, yes. Who among you does not feel confident when it comes to speaking in English? Or generally, kahit in Filipino, minsan natatakot na nag-hesitate pa tayong makipag-usap, right? Because we're not used to that kind of situation. So that's why you're in the right place. We will equip you, we will help you improve your speaking skills, and definitely we will help you reach your maximum potential because your target band score. Let's say your target band score is, what is your target band score?
This 7 is enough.
At least 7. Wow, medyo mataas yung ano niya, yung band score target. Okay. So, are you applying for permanent residency?
Yeah, this after this, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
medyo, that's 7 points kasi medyo mas maganda yung pagka, ano mo, kasi the more na mataas yung IELTS score mo, madali yung, malaki yung points mo to, no, to become
higher chances of getting approved
pero
for your
tipo,
permanent
I think,
residency.
honestly, I don't know if I afford that to pass that kind of average 7 test.
All right. Well, that's quite high, but academic students usually they need to pass. Their target is 6.5 and higher. Am I right, Jason? Okay, so how about you? What is your target band score?
Target score is 7.
7 as well. Okay, so of course, if your target score is 7 or 5 or 6, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you get at least one band score higher than your target score before taking the exam. If you consistently get one band score higher than your target score, that's a sign that you're ready. Not only in speaking, but also in all the other subtests. Okay? That's why IELTS review takes up to 3 to 4 months depending on your initial level. Hindi ko pa alam lahat kung ano yung initial level nyo. The only person who has undergone my one-on-one coaching here in this room is Jason. I think hindi ka pa nakapagpa-coaching, right, Kenji? But I do keep a track record starting December because unfortunately, the previous batch, very hesitant sila magpa-coaching. We always encourage our students to undergo coaching. Actually, we schedule it weekly. And kapag ako yung coach, I even allot some time after lecture to accommodate students. Kasi hindi naman lahat available every Thursday, right? So whenever I'm here, I ask students to get a slot for one-on-one coaching. It's just a 15-minute session, minimum. Kasi minsan may chika pang kasama. But so maximum na yung 20 minutes because yes.
I mean, just for including for that yung coaching na yan, yung magpo-coach sa'yo. We need to pay or that's
it's inclusive of your payment in the review. So there's no need for extra payment.
Okay, yeah.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good question because all of you here are new besides Kenji and Jason.
Dito kami for, to pass the test. 5, okay na sa akin eh. Pero syempre, that's you said, because you asked me that my target, so that's why I say 7. But 5 is enough for me, right?
Yes.
That's makapasalo.
Okay. And we want you to get that PR approved, right? Okay. So, as you know, we have a criteria for speaking assessment. So basically, in the interview, you will be assessed according to these 4 categories. We have fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammar, range and accuracy, and lastly, pronunciation. So equally, each category accounts for 25% of your score. So if makaband 7 ka sa fluency, 6 sa lexical resource, 7.5 sa grammar, and 6.5 sa pronunciation, itatali. And then yung average nun, yun yung band score mo sa speaking. Right? Kasi yung iba naman sa atin, ang target is individual band score or overall band score. It depends again on the university, college, institution, or yung employer mo kung ano talaga yung nire-require sa'yo. Okay? You have to know that. You have to know kung ang nire-require lang ba sa'yo is individual band score or overall band score. Okay? So we will discuss these parts briefly. So first of all, fluency. Fluency and coherence, magkasama yan. But let's talk about fluency. Is fluency talking about your speed in speaking? Kapag mabilis magsalita ang isang individual, does that mean that the person is already fluent in speaking English? It does not guarantee fluency. Speed does not guarantee fluency. In fact, you can be fluent by keeping a very medium speaking pace. Fluency talks about the smoothness of your speech. All right? So Your examiner will look at how fluent you are, your ability to keep speaking, and if you need to hesitate, self-correct and repeat yourself to keep going. Okay, ability to keep speaking. As you know, the speaking subtest is a speaking assessment test, not an intelligence test. Meaning, i-assess talaga kung kaya mo ang lengthy conversations. Kung kaya mong i-sustain yung conversation or maiksi ka lang sumagot. Because of course, if you don't speak much during the interview, it only goes to show that you don't have really good communication skills in English. Alright? So that's what fluency is all about. Nag-hesitate ka ba kasi hindi pa sapat yung vocabulary na meron ka? Right? Or nauutal-utal ba? Nagsa-stutter, right? May marami bang ons and ahs, fillers, okay? That's what fluency is all about. So, coherence, on the other hand, is about the unity of your thoughts. Okay, coherence is about being able to deliver your thoughts in English in an organized manner. Okay? How organized are your thoughts? Kaya mo bang sabihin ang isang idea nang hindi maraming paligoy-ligoy? Or hindi na off topic? That's coherency. Okay? Kasi marami ditong test takers na hindi iniintindi mabuti yung tanong, tapos sumasagot agad, which bumababa yung fluency and coherence score. Kasi nag-a-assume ka. Ayan tayo, mahilig tayo mag-assume talaga eh. What I mean is, you need to listen to the question carefully. Okay? Because your answers, it will affect your score in fluency and coherence. Kasi if hindi relevant yung mga sagot mo sa tanong, let's say you misunderstood the question, then most probably you will get a very low score in fluency and coherence. Because coherence is how your words, ideas, and thoughts flow together. Connected ba at organized ba ang mga answers mo? And one way for you to be coherent in your answers is being able to know how to use proper linking words or transition words, phrases such as, if we compare my answer, first answer is, tell me about your family. I belong to a big family. We have 5 members in the family. My father is a farmer and my mother is a housewife. Very boring pakinggan, very dull. Kasi wala man lang transition words. But your answer will sound coherent if you add some connectors, such as, well, I belong to quite a big family. In fact, we are 8 members in the family. Grabe, 8. We are 8 members in the family. As you see, I use the transition phrase in fact. Okay? My father is a farmer while my mother is a plain housewife. Then my other siblings already have their own families. I'm the only one who is still single. Di ba mas maganda pakinggan yung first example or yung second example? Second example, of course. So that's what coherence is all about. And you cannot achieve better fluency and coherence if you do not attend our one-on-one coaching sessions. Okay, now let's talk about lexical resource. When we say lexical resource, pina-complicate lang, pero ang ibig sabihin niyan, vocabulary. Okay? Dito nasusukat kung gaano ba kadami yung baon mo that day. Okay? Nakapagbaon ka ba ng sapat na words and phrases? Okay. So, relax lang kayo. Hindi naman porket meron tayong category na vocabulary, it doesn't mean that you are forced to use highfalutin or complex words. Because your level will determine what kind of words are you are going to use. Okay? Let's say you're an intermediate level in speaking. The examiner will not expect you to use advanced level vocabulary, of course, right? Especially mag-gauge ka na niya from the moment you answer the first question. Yung tanong pa lang na, can you tell me your complete name? Mag-gauge na niya agad kung ano yung level mo somehow. So, the flow of the interview will go according to your initial level. Okay? So, syempre, hindi ka naman magpapanggap ng beginner level. You have to showcase your actual level in speaking. Alright? So, your lexical resource are your words, your diction. Okay? If you're taking an academic test, you have to make sure that the vocabulary words that you're using are actually aligned to the academe in the academe. Okay? Syempre, kailangan i-level up natin ng konti since your band score is supposed to be 6.5 or higher, right? So, we will help you to change your tone, improve your vocabulary, of course, na naka-align siya sa gusto mong band score, of course, sa target mong band score. So, are your ideas clear? Words are understandable, appropriate, and relevant. Okay. The words that you're using should be appropriate at all times. Okay? In vocabulary and lexical resource, the only thing you have to make sure is that you don't say any foul words. Positive words only, positive answers. Okay? So in IELTS speaking, no negativity is allowed. Of course, let's say your question is, tell me about your family. Share things that are positive about your family. Huwag na tayong dumako dun sa, because my father is having an affair with somebody else. Ganyan. Siyempre, magiging dramatic na yung interview natin and you will be somehow led to a negative energy or vibe. So, please make sure that the words that you use are positive. No foul words. Don't say anything negative. Okay? Alright. And in lexical resource, dito din masusukat if you're using right word forms. Okay? Kasi minsan yung adjective natin, ginagamit natin as noun or yung vice versa, yung adverb nagiging adjective. If you want to improve your grammar, please attend grammar and vocabulary lectures. They are always plotted within the week. Maybe once or twice in a week. Depends on who the lecturer is. But basically, ako sa grammar and vocabs and speaking. But then si Sir Kevin dun sa writing. He focuses on writing because that's his expertise. Okay? And then, are you good enough in using collocations, like words that are partnered together? Like, for example, environmental pollution. Are you equipped with that kind of level of vocabulary? So, medyo pang advanced na yan, pang band 7 and pataas. So, band 7 pababa, you're not really expected to use so many idiomatic expressions and collocations. But yes, those will be discussed in our other grammar and vocabulary lectures. Okay? So we already talked about fluency and coherence. The second category is lexical resource. And of course, the third is grammar. Okay. Medyo nalungkot yung mga itsura nyo nung narinig nyo yung grammar. Kasi for sure, isa to sa mga areas na parang feeling mo most problematic area grammar talaga. Yung tamang paggamit lang ng pronouns like he, she, nagkakamali pa tayo minsan. But actually, even I make mistakes with pronouns sometimes because it's normal. But the good news is, grammar is not as important in the speaking subtest as it is in the writing subtest. Okay? Please pay attention to the choice of words that I used because I said that it's not as important in the speaking subtest compared to the writing subtest. But does that mean that it's not important? It still means that it's important. It's just that examiners seem to be very considerate to test takers when it comes to grammar. Hindi sila masyadong meticulous when it comes to grammar. Kaya nilang palagpasin, kumbaga. Okay? Like, nagkamali ka lang ng konti sa pronouns, okay lang yun. The thing is, don't highlight your mistakes by repeating yourself again and again. Okay? Redundant tayo sa repeating, tsaka again and again. But what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to emphasize the fact that once you make a grammatical mistake when speaking, just leave it like that. Correct it in the following sentences. Example: talk about a kind neighbor. I don't have one. Just kidding. Uy, grabe! Walang kapitbahay. Okay. All right. So, anyways, how are you going to answer that question? Well, I have this really kind neighbor. His name is Marcelino. He happens to be my uncle. Very biased uncle. He's 66 years old, and I think I can consider him one of the most generous people that I've met because he has lots of friends. And also, he always gathers his friends at their house for some drinking session and karaoke session. She loves to drink. Nagkamali ako sa pronoun. She loves to drink. Napa-she ako kanina. Pero don't highlight that anymore. Just move on. Kasi tendency, sorry, he. Gaganong ka pa. Tapos mauutal ka, mawawala ka na sa focus, right? So, pag ganon, relax lang. It's organic. Things happen, okay? Forgive yourself. Okay, so, wag masyadong harsh sa sarili, okay? So, napashi ka. She is very friendly and all that. So, sa following sentences, dun mo na lang i-correct. He's actually also very good looking. Well, now that he's 66, not anymore, but when he was younger, he used to be very good looking. Mga ganun lang, okay? So, you actually need to show to the examiner that you can use a range of complex structures. Baka kasi ang kaya mo lang gamitin na word structure in simple sentence. Simple sentence, ano lang yan? Subject, verb, agreement. Like, I am eating. She is walking. Siyempre, you have to show iba't ibang level. Compound sentences, complex sentences, a combination of compound and complex sentences. Again, those topics will be covered in your other grammar lectures. So please, sipagan natin umattend. Because in fact, a lot of students have been giving me feedback that grammar lectures help them a lot. Kasi, alam ko naman na ang tagal nila itong natakal, right? Elementary pa lang or probably high school, yung last na grammar lecture niya. Okay. Let's talk about number of errors in grammar. It is also important to try and limit the number of grammatical errors you make. Okay? Because the more errors you accumulate, the lower your band score will get. That's why you have to be very careful as well. So you have to be aware the proper use of articles, prepositions, subject verb agreement. Okay? If you feel like you are not confident in that area, we will identify that naman. We will recognize that during one-on-one coaching. I do give feedback, very intricate feedback on my one-on-one coaching sessions. I tell you that, you need to level up on your vocabulary, you need to learn how to use proper prepositions, because those little details are actually very important. Okay? And lastly, we have pronunciation. Actually, this is the most important part in your speaking subtest. Pronunciation. Okay, wag yung isipin na porket you have a thick local accent, hindi ka na makakapasa speaking, right? A lot of test takers have a very thick local accent, but then their pronunciation is clear, their pronunciation of words do not affect or hinder proper comprehension. Okay? Maraming mga Indian test takers, di ba? Suking-suking sila sa IELTS. Tingnan nyo, lahat na sila nasa Canada na ngayon. Di ba?
Yung iba hindi rin. Maraming fake din.
What do you mean by fake?
Yung IELTS nila, hindi talaga as in original na katulad na ano. Kasi when I was there, talaga may mga kasama kong India talaga na pinabalik talaga. Kasi very strict sila pagdating sa result ng mga IELTS. Unlike Philippines talaga proven talaga. Legit talaga.
Yes, exactly.
Talaga,
I have heard a lot of people getting fake certificates. Like, they pay a certain amount and then they get it fixed. Pero na-identify din pala. Na-identify.
Actually, na talaga sila, trace yun. More
Okay.
in Vancouver, Toronto.
Pauwiin na silang lahat.
So, ayun. Problema na.
Sila yung dahilan kung bakit naghigpit. Canada, right?
Actually, it's true. Sila ang cost of ano.
Okay, so why is pronunciation really important in your interview? Because the way you pronounce words will affect the comprehension. Kung paano naintindihan ni examiner yung sinasabi mo. Okay? Yung subtle changes lang sa vowel sounds, it makes a lot of difference. The beach is so beautiful. Tinutukoy natin yung beach, dagat. Nagkamali ka. The beach is so beautiful. Gumanong ka bigla. Oh my God. Patay na talaga. Right? Ma-offend si examiner. Baka akala pa siya yung tinutukoy mo, right? So that's why pronunciation is really important. You have to make sure that you always deliver words correctly, concisely, and clearly. Okay? Sa pronunciation, kino-cover din dito yung stress of words. Because there are words in the English language, they can alter the function depending on the stress that you put. For example, tell me your address. Yun yung address mo, kung saan ka nakatira. My address is, syempre hindi ko sa inyo sasabihin. But, when you use it as a verb, I would like to address an issue with your manager. Verb na yung function niya doon sa sentence niya. So you have to know where to put proper stress. And the intonation of your sentences, pag monotonous ka masyado, it makes your delivery very dull. Okay? Ang mga interviewer, tao lang din naman sila. We have feelings, right? We can sense the vibe. So if you're being so monotonous all the time, ang boring. Parang ano ba yan? Next na nga. Ganun. Ni-next agad. So, make sure na marunong kang different variation of tone. Like, if you're asking a question, have you eaten breakfast? Tinatanong kita, Jason. Just kidding. Have you eaten breakfast? Diba? Have you eaten breakfast? Nag-iiba yung tone. No, I have not. Yun yung simple tone lang, right? So, of course, in the interview, we will also guide you on how you can improve your intonation to make it sound more interesting. Isipin mo, yung examiner nag-interview na ng how many? Sa lifetime niya, siguro mga 2,000 test takers na yung na-interview niya. Alam niyo naman, yung mga examiners nasa, ano ba sa Spanish yung, di ba, trentahin? 60s. Mga pa-senior na talaga yung mga examiners. So imagine how many test takers na undergo sa kanila. So, how will your answer be spontaneous? How will your answer be unique? Kasi yun din talaga yung hinahanap eh. Me, I've been a coach here for 1.5 years already. Nakakasawa na yung mga sagot nyo actually. So, galingan nyo naman. I mean, you have to do something to make it interesting. And how do you make it interesting? By adding your own genuine answers. Okay? And of course, altering your tone depending on what you're saying. Okay? Yung monotonous ganito yun. Let's say the question is, what is your favorite hobby? Well, I like to travel. And I also like going to the beach. And my family went to the beach last time. Di ba parang iisa lang yung tono, pataas lang ng pataas. So, you need to learn how to alter those kinds of things. So again, our grading criteria for speaking, we have 4 categories: fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. You have to make sure na all those magkaroon ka ng high score in order for you to get your target band score in speaking. So IELTS speaking band descriptors, as you can see, this is provided by British Council. So, band 7, right? Able to...
5 na lang.
Okay, let's say band 7. Your target is band 7. So, fluency and coherence, ito daw yung target mo. Able to keep going and readily produce long terms without noticeable effort. Kailangan daw effortless yung speech mo. Hindi ka hirap. Yun yung band 7. Alright? And it also says here that some hesitation, repetition, or self-correction may occur, often mid-sentence, and indicate problems with accessing appropriate language. So, okay lang daw dito na meron ka pang konting hesitation sometimes, or it's a self-correct ka, or you're looking for the appropriate word to use. That's okay in band 7. May room for that, okay? And in lexical resource, you have to know how to paraphrase, okay? Hindi yung pag tinanong ka ni examiner, what's your favorite food? Para kang elementary student na sasagot, my favorite food is steak, di ba? Of course, kailangan marunong ka mag-paraphrase such as, I do have a wide range of preferences. Pang-bantay na yun, ma'am. Oo nga. Okay, so, I do have a lot of food that I like. But top on the list is steak. O, diba? Pinaraphrase mo, hindi mo sinabing, my favorite food is, ang boring. Diba? Walang ka-thrill-thrill. Next, grammatical range and accuracy. Both simple and complex sentences are used. Okay? So, okay lang daw. You still make simple sentences. Pero lagyan mo naman daw ng complex sentences. What do we mean by complex sentences? Yung may mga comma-comma. For example, Susan, whom I've known for so long, is now pregnant with her 8th child. O, di ba? Chinika mo pa si examiner. Gusto mo yun? May kasamang chika. Alright, so, ganun yung mga complex sentences na nire-require sa band 7. Kaya, mag-band 5 na lang tayo. Di ba, sir? Okay. And in pronunciation, you display all the positive features of band 6 and some but not all. And the positive features of band 8. So, the band 7, pwede kang a combination of band 6 and 8 level, something like that. So usually band 7, hindi na masyadong nagkakamali sa pronunciation, especially if words are generic and commonly used, okay? So yun yung ina-expect sa band 7. Now, if you want to know all the details of the band descriptors, isa-send ko tong link na to para ma-access nyo later, okay? Ano lang, 50 pesos per student? So, magkano yan? Just kidding. Sabi nyo kanina, walang extra charge. Ano yun, ma'am? So, ayan. Sa band 5 naman, you can kindly read this later. Okay? Just wanted to show you. You will only get a band 0 if you do not attend the speaking test. Unfortunately, nangyayari yun, guys. Okay? Why? Kasi may mga ilan sa inyo hindi nagbabasa. Once you already confirm your test date, makaka-receive kayo ng confirmation email from British Council if you're gonna take your test here. And nandun yung details. What time you're supposed to be here, what should you bring. Eh, yung ibang test taker, makukulit talaga yung sinabi na dalhin yung kung ano yung ID na ginamit sa registration. Ang ginamit niyang ID sa registration, passport. Ang dinala niya, PhilHealth. O, di ba? Very guys, yung mga ganong details, pay attention. May isa pang dahilan kung ba't hindi natutuloy ang test. What is it?
Late?
Yes, late. Pero ngayon, very maluwag na si British Council. Dati, require niyang dumating kayo ng 7:30 ang aga. So, you're gonna be waiting for like 1.5 hours. But now, may allowance na. 8:30, you can be here. Okay? Pero, sabi sa akin ng test invigilator, mas okay daw if 8. Kasi, let's say, 6 kayo. Isa-scan kasi yung body nyo. Kung may dala ba kayong ipinagbabawal na. Charot. Hindi, bawal nga yun. They're gonna use a scanner to check if you brought anything like código or something. And then, all your belongings will be locked in the locker, of course. And then, you have to wear appropriate attire in the interview. Okay? So, automatically, bawal yung shorts. Okay? Baka akalain ni examiner, ay, nagpapakita siya ng legs. Just kidding. So, anyways, you have to dress appropriately. Okay? You have to dress appropriately. And for men, much better if you're wearing something with collar. Collar, hindi color. Okay? So, for everyone, wear closed shoes. Okay? You can wear a dress if you like, as long as it looks really neat and semi-formal, something like that. Bawal lang talaga yung shorts sa exam. Okay? Isa yun sa mga reasons kung ba't ka pa uwiin at hindi matutuloy yung exam mo. So, wag naman sana. At yun nga, kapag hindi ka naka-attend, let's say nakakuha ka nga, natapos mo na yung 3 tests, nakalimutan mo may interview ka pa pala. So, yeah, you're gonna get a 0. And the lowest band score that you can get is a 1. The highest band score that you could get is a 9. Pero wag naman kasi daigin mo pa kami, di ba? 8.5 lang naman ako. Parang yabang ko sa word. 8.5 lang naman ako. Okay, so, eto na. I want you to choose a partner. Oh, wala siyang partner. Pwedeng, tayo na lang, sige. Later na lang, later. Okay? So part 2, actually, I'm gonna ask you to look for a partner. Can you guys see it or is it too small? Sa mga nasa Zoom, makikita yan eh. Alright, so, as mentioned earlier, your speaking test will last for a maximum of 15 minutes. 12 to 15 minutes is the ideal time that your interview is going to take. Alright? Now, what if your interview only lasts for 7 to 8 minutes? Yes, mabilis ko natapos yung interview. I can go home finally. Okay. Huwag kang matuwa pag ganun yung situation. Because it only means hindi ka nakakapasa. Hindi ka makakapasa pag 7 to 8 minutes lang yung interview mo. Why? It's most probably because you were not able to answer the question substantially. Pag sinabi natin substantially, hindi sapat. Ginawa mo na lahat. Binigay mo na lahat. Hindi pa rin sapat. Okay. So, guys, kailangan sapat yung mga sagot nyo. I don't want you to be restricted with a number of sentences. Okay? Baka kasi sabihin nyo, sabi kasi ni ma'am, 1 to 2 sentences lang, okay na. Right? Pwedeng 2 to 4 sentences in task 1. Pero wag naman yung bawat sentence yung haba ng traffic sa EDSA, okay? Aabutin na tayo ng siyam-siyam doon. You have to make sure na hindi ka ma-off topic, relevant pa rin yung mga sagot mo, okay? So, we're giving you an idea of how long your answers can get in task 1. Ako kasi, I prefer 2 to 3 sentences lang siguro. Kasi most of the time, the sentences I make are very lengthy. Now, it really depends on you. 4 na sentence nga, pero 3 words lang naman per sentence. But at least, di ba? The key here is to expound your answers. So, rule number 1. Never answer using one word. Let's say, what's your favorite sport? Basketball. Matutuwa ba sa'yo sa examiner? Hindi ka nga nakapag-form ng sentence, di ba? Do you like do you like traveling? Yes. At talagang nakipagtitigan ka lang ka sa examiner, no? Hindi mo siya aantayin na magtanong ng why. Okay? You have to back it up with a reason. Always answer in your question, why? In your head, ask the question, why? And duktungan mo yung answer mo, okay? But do not answer using one word or phrases only. You have to make sure that your answers are always in complete sentences, all right? So, on speaking part 1, it's the introduction and interview. Introduction, ibig sabihin, magpapakilala ka kay examiner. Okay? The examiner will get to know you. So topics will be about you, your likes and dislikes, your hobbies, your family, yung chika sa buhay mo, ganun, hindi. Hindi naman ganun si examiner. So, make sure pay attention to the question. Una sa lahat, ang hihingin sa'yo ni examiner is a copy of your ID. So, huwag kayong katulad ko na medyo lutang ako that time. So, ganito kalayo yung distance from the... So, pag nakapasok na kayo dun sa speaking room, you're gonna see what it's like. So, there's a white table, and there's a desktop computer, and you're gonna be seated across from the desktop computer. So, basically, nandito yung webcam, right? Yung camera. And then you're seated there. So, pagpasok ko, sabi sa akin agad ni examiner, can you show me your ID? Siyempre, medyo kabado pa ako nun. So, from that distance, gumanon ako. Sabi niya sa akin, I can't see it from there. Ginanon ba naman? Oh my gosh, ang taray-taray niya talaga. Pero chill lang dapat. Smile lang, gano'n. Composure. Kunwari hindi kinakabahan, gano'n. So, pag gano'n, syempre lapit ka. Itapat mo naman dun sa camera yung ID mo, di ba? Kasi common sense, hindi niya makikita from that distance. At hindi naman kayo face-to-face. Nasa loob siya ng computer. I mean, nasa ano siya. I mean, she's there. She can't see it, right? So you have to come close and show your ID, then go back to your chair. So basically, that's just for verification purposes. To check kung, parang iba yung picture niya dito. Parang masyadong makapal yung filter. Charot. Or, dumating ka doon, plakadong-plakado yung face mo na iba na. So, sa mga babae, light makeup lang ha. Huwag niyong gayahin yung eyelashes ko right now. Kung ano yung itsura niya sa passport or sa kung anong ID, sana medyo ganun yung hawig, okay? Ma'am, paano yun? Tumaba ako, ganyan. Problema mo na yun. Pagbayad ka. 2 weeks before the exam, calorie deficit. So anyways, ano lang yan, for verification purposes. Pero may copy na siya ng ID mo. Para lang sure na hindi kayo nag-switch or anything. Or walang nandaya dito or anything. Okay? So, on part 1, the examiner introduces him herself and checks your identity. Then, the examiner asks you general questions. Alright? So, this part is going to take 4 to 5 minutes. Dalawa ang pwedeng mangyari sa'yo dito. It's either tanungin ka ni examiner ng several questions or tanungin kaya ng isang damakmak na questions. Ano gusto mo sa dalawa?
Okay.
Ay, gusto daw niya ng more questions! Oh my God! Do you know what will happen to you if the examiner asks you so many questions? May exhaust ka na sa part 1 pa lang. Kaya ang key, habaan mo yung mga sagot mo, di ba? 4 to 5 minutes ang part 1, di ba? Habaan mo yung mga sagot mo para hindi na siya magtanong ng kung ano-ano, di ba? So, the tendency is if the examiner asks you more questions, the more likely you are to get confused and exhausted. Okay? Sige, mag-practice tayo ngayon.
confused na ako. It's confusing na. I'm just practice.
Okay. So, mag-practice tayo right now. These are the possible questions that can be asked on part 1. Tanong, hindi niyo makita. Personal information about you. What's your full name? Where are you from? Do you work or study? What do you like about your hometown? Okay. First question, what is your full name? So, ang mga Pilipino kasi, dala-dalawa, tatlo-tatlo'y pangalan. Kayo, ilan pangalan niyo? Huh? Really? Can you tell me your complete name? So you mean your first name only? Just 2? Jason what? Jason and? J and Zen. Ah, magkaiwalay yun. Okay. Sorry. So, J, Zen. And then, Jason Ice. So, dalawa lang. Alright, so, how about you guys? Do you have 2 names?
Sarah G.
Sarah Jane. Anybody else with multiple names? Yeah.
Yeah. Galing po ko na Isabel.
Really?
But it's starts with letter.
Okay.
So it's
But only one.
no.
Dessa and Belle.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So, buti na lang talaga ako, Shannon lang name ko. Actually, my dad registered me. Nakakainis. Buti na lang pinapalitan ng mom ko. Kasi, nilagay pa naman niya Shannon Joy. Oh my God, redundant na yun. Yung, masayahin na nga ako, tapos Joy pa yung pangalan ko. Bawas points talaga ako sa redundancy. Tsaka ang pangit pakinggan, hindi nakaka-class. Uy, masasabi sa mga may joy sa name. Bagay naman sa inyo yung name niyo na may joy. Yung mayor nga namin, Mayor Joy Pascual eh. O, di ba? From Gapat City. Uy, nakapunta na kayo. Maganda yung palighting namin dun sa plaza. Wala kayo sa mayor namin. So anyways, pag may mga Filipinos kasi na 4 yung pangalan. Mark, Anthony, Joseph, Mark Anthony Joseph. Tapos yung apelido pa niya, Francisco. Diba? Parang pangalan lahat. So nalito siya. Tinanong ko siya, how can I call you? My number is... How can I call you? Ibig sabihin, yung nickname mo, para ma-address kita as how you want to be addressed. Kasi, 3 kayo pangalan niya. Mark, Anthony, Joshua. Diba? Joshua ba sinabi ko kanina or Joseph? Oh, nalito na ako. So anyways, guys, make up your mind. Kung gusto mo akong tawag sa'yo, Mark, just say Mark. Kasi nung time na yun, tinanong ko siya, pinalitan niya. Sabi niya, you can call me Joseph. Oh, no, just call me Mark. Very indecisive. Alam ko, mga babae lang yung indecisive, pati siya indecisive. So, guys, make up your mind. Be ready for that question. All right? My name is Mark Anthony Joseph Francisco. You can call me Mark for short. Ganun lang. Don't complicate things. Kasi on the first part of your IELTS speaking test, you have to show confidence and first impression last. So, galingan mo naman, di ba? Where are you from? Ayan, magandang tanong to. Where are you from? Ibibigay mo ba yung address mo? It's irrelevant. Kasi hindi rin naman niya alam yung mga lugar sa Pilipinas. So, how you could answer this question is, I'm from a province in the Philippines called Nueva Ecija. It's in the northern area of the Philippines. And it's known for its agricultural resources. Ang bad time talaga yun. Pero diba, kaysa naman sabihin mo, I'm Shannon Esty. I'm from Gapan City. Nueva Ecija. Or sabihin ko na yung address ko. Let's say, San Lorenzo Village, Gapan City, Nueva Ecija, Philippines! At least sa Manalo. Well, no. Hindi ganon, okay? Kasi irrelevant nga. Hindi naman din niya alam yung address mo. Say something about your hometown na lang. Like, we're known for the production of slippers. Production. Talaga naman, guys. Di nyo ba alam? Levicia? Or Luban City? Okay. Ngayon alam nyo na. Do you work or study? Malilito kayo dito. Kasi ni isa sa dalawa na yan, hindi nyo ginagawa. Tambay, ma'am eh. Do you work or study? Kung wala sa dalawa, neither of the two. Yun na, kabisaduhin nyo lang yung part na yun. Neither of the two. Okay? Kesa sabihin mo, I don't work, I don't study, it sounds so elementary, it sounds so incompetent. So, it's better to say, neither of the two. Ang sasabihin mo ba, nakasunod ay, I am currently reviewing for IELTS. Oh, Jason, umiiling siya. Bakit hindi mo pwedeng i-disclose yung information na yon? Yes, exactly. More likely, nahirapan ni examiner yung mga tanong sa'yo, kapag i-reveal mo na nagre-review ka for IELTS. Right? So, the interviewer will give you a hard time because iisipin niya, okay, you're preparing pala for IELTS. So, it simply means you can handle difficult questions. So, it's like, sinut mo yung sarili mo. Okay? Like, don't say that you're studying IELTS. You can say neither of the two, kung wala ka talagang ginagawa sa life, and then proceed by saying, I am currently preparing my documents for my application abroad for student visa or working visa, whatever it is. Okay? So, yun na lang. I-generalize mo lang yung sagot mo sa part na yun. Alright, what do you like about your hometown? You have to know your hometown and what are the assets of your hometown. Walang asset yung hometown namin. Kurakot nga yung mayor. Isipan mo na lang, okay? We are known for our rice fields. Mga ganon, okay? Or piggery. Oh, sige, wag na. Agricultural resources na lang, okay? Or probably a tourist destination in your hometown. Sino dito mga taga-ibang probinsya? Or malalayong probinsya? Dito lang kayo sa Cabanatuan lahat. Ang boring. Wala akong pupuntahan mag-fiesta. Uy, makiki-fiesta yun. Okay, so yung iba kasing students before from Baler or from Dingalan, ganyan. So I told them, say something about your hometown, like the tourist spots. Yan, pwede niyong isagot din yan. Home and accommodation. Do you live in a home, in a house, or in an apartment? Describe your home. O, diba? Paano mo sisimulan yung describe your home? I'm homeless. Ganun na lang siguro, no? Kaya hindi ka na itanong. So, basically, you have to start somewhere. Talk about the general facts about your home, and then move into the details. I live in a bungalow house. We have a wide backyard, and it has a garage capacity of 5 cars. Uy! Mayaman pala, di ba? Charot lang yan. I mean, pwede mong i-describe muna yung exterior and then move on to the interior, okay? Our house has 4 bedrooms, a very spacious living area, a dining area, and a dirty and clean kitchen. Because in the Philippines, we have dirty and clean kitchen, right? So, you can also proceed by saying, what's your favorite part of your house? Okay? Of course, my favorite room is my bedroom because that's a place where I can relax and I have everything I need there. Internet connection, an AC, my bed, of course, and my own toilet inside the bedroom. So, basically, that's my favorite part of the house. Ganun lang, okay? How long have you lived there? Nawawala ng connection. Yung mga nasa Zoom ba, andito pa kayo? I mean, am I still here? Can you still hear me? Do you like your home? Why or why not? So, pwede naman sumagot ng no. Pero wag naman yung sobrang ida-down mo yung bahay niyo. Okay. Pwede mo sabihin, because actually that's the reason why I want to work abroad. Because I want to, there are so many things that I would like to fix or improve in our home. Pwedeng ganun, okay? Gawin mo personalize yung mga sagot mo. Sige, now with your partner, I want you to try to come up with answers. Okay? Pwede din mag-raise ng hands kung gusto niyo mag-volunteer. Ayaw na niyang mag-move. Choppy. I'm so sorry, Lisa. Okay. I will pick this topic. Hobbies and free time. Isipan nyo ngayon ng sagot. Your answers should be 2 to 3 sentences. Okay? Volunteers?
Washroom.
Sige. Pwede po. Okay, so I think Jason would like to volunteer. Yes?
That's like it.
I particularly asked you to practice hobbies and free time, but if you like to choose the other one, then sure. Just pick one question. Yes. Na-encounter mo na yan sa mga coaching sessions natin. Right? What do you do in your free time? Why did you choose your course? Oh, you're gonna apply for student visa, right? Anong course mo ulit? Oh, there. Why did you choose nursing?
Alam ko ba talaga? Sorry.
Sige, wag na mag-mic.
Para mako kami ng idea.
It's actually good. Nahihiya lang siya right now. Here you go.
Well, personally, I wasn't the one that chose my own course. It was my parents' decision to choose my course for me. That's why I'm going abroad next.
Can you talk a little more about nursing? Okay, so in that case, you can mention what course you're taking up first, okay? So I will be taking up nursing. I chose this pathway because I believe this is the easiest and fastest pathway for me to study abroad. Yun naman din talaga, right? And I do have a passion in helping others. Mas universe talaga yung sagutin. So, ganun ka-lengthy lang yung kailangan na sagot dito sa task 1, alright? Next, what do you do in your free time? I don't usually have so much free time, but when I do, I love to do anything crafty, like related to arts. I love to paint, and I also love to do some digital art. On the days that I have extra time, I would sit in my painting corner for a good 2 to 3 hours, and I would work on a canvas, something like that. Okay? Or if your answer could be on my free time, I like going to cafes with my friends. We like to talk about random things like lives of other people. Hindi. Okay, yung totoong sagot na. What do you like to do on your free time? On my free time, I like going to cafes with my friends. In the Philippines, coffee culture has become really big. So nowadays, a lot of people have opened up very aesthetic cafes. We like going there because we love taking photos in those aesthetic cafes. 4 sentences. Yeah. 4 sentences lang yun. Next. What do you like or dislike about your work or study? One like, one dislike about your work. Siguro, okay na rin yun. Let's say, I work as a teacher, okay? One thing that I love about teaching is that I have the opportunity to influence my students positively. But one thing I dislike about it is that sometimes workload could be really heavy at times. So I'd have to work overtime. Ganun lang kasimple. Hindi naman kailangan sobrang mahaba. At least, stick to the topic ka pa rin. Relevant pa rin yung mga sagot mo at nasagot mo siya ng direct to the point. Ayaw ni examiner na maraming paligoy tapos sa dulo mo pa sasabihin yung sagot, okay? What's your favorite food? Well, I've been to many places already and I've tried different cuisines. In India, I tried the very hygienic dishes. And in Singapore, I tried a various list of dishes because they have a variety of cuisines there since a lot of people from different countries live in Singapore. My favorite food is adobo. O, diba? Ang dami mong paligoy-ligoy, tas adobo lang pala yung favorite mo. Hindi ganon, okay? Say the answer first and then expound it. Okay? One of my favorite dishes is a local Filipino dish and it's called adobo. Kung kaya mong i-explain at i-describe yung adobo, go! Pero kung ayaw mo na ng ganun kahirap, just say something familiar. My favorite dish is roast chicken. I like it because you can pair it with rice, and sometimes I would use the breast part of the chicken and add it in my creamy pesto. That's why I love roast chicken because it's so versatile. O, diba? Direct to the point, nagbigay ka ng reason why you love it, reasons why you love it, na-expound mo yung sagot mo. Magkaiba siya sa first example na maraming paligoy-ligoy, tapos saka mo palang sasabihin, right?
So ma'am, pwede mo sa i-explain pwede kang gumamit ng sometimes past tense or past tense
It
kasi
depends on the question.
kasi elaboration eh. Kailangan mo sa i-explain ng
Could you give me an example, please?
yeah.
For example, ang tanong ay, talk about a vacation that you had with your family. Siyempre, past tense ang gagamitin mo kasi nangyari na yung bakasyon. That's why, listen carefully sa tanong. Talk about a recent vacation that you had with your family. So, ibig sabihin, nakaraan siya. We went to, hindi we will go to. Kasi nga, nangyari na. We went to Boracay. And we stayed there for 7 days.
So like, meron ako dito sa what subject are you studying, right? So, pero kasi hindi ako nag-study, so pwede ko siyang i-explain na actually, I'm not a student, but I'm like I can do my job is like a food supervisor or as a cook. So, pwede siya i-deliver ng ganon. So, pwede sa explain or no. Kasi nga, hindi sa relevant dun sa first question na study.
Hindi ka naman tatanungin ni examiner ng tanong na to kung hindi niya natanong na do you work or do you study. Una muna niya itatanong, do you work or do you study?
Sabi nila.
Ngayon, hindi magna-navigate towards this question kung hindi mo naman sinagot na I'm studying right now. Diba? Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, yung iba naman. Ang topic naman, family and friends. Can you describe your family? Ang karaniwang nagiging problema dito, hindi niya alam kung anong pamilya yung i-describe niya. Yung una ba o yung pangalawa? Joke lang. Yung parents ba o yung immediate family ng spouse? Yun. Pero totoo din, may mga namang problema din kasi hiwalay na nga. So, ma'am, pag ganun ba, sasabihin ko ba that I've already separated? Nasawi ako? Hindi. Well, it really depends on you. If you feel like it will move you towards an emotional state, don't talk about it anymore. Kasi maaaring maging emotional ka at umiyak-iyak ka doon. So, hindi ka na makasagot. Huwag yung tawanan, guys, kasi marami nang umiyak sa akin. So, kayo na yung next. Paiiyakin ko kayo, sige. Hindi, joke lang. Well, may mga tanong kasi na nakaka-trigger ng emotion, such as, talk about your parents. My parents have already both passed away.
Sorry. Hindi ako tinatawag.
Yeah, well, actually, it's true.
Sinasabi nila siguro yung totoo.
Yeah, they're being
Like,
honest with their answers.
Yeah.
So the tendency is nagiging emotional. Or minsan yung tanong, tell me about an experience that changed your life. Bigla na lang sumisinghot yung kausap ko talaga. Siyempre, offeran ko muna ng tissue. Pero the thing is, may mga ganun talagang mga tanong. You need to know how to control your emotions. Kaya nga, it's advisable, undergo a lot of coaching sessions before you take the test para ma-familiarize ka sa setup at saka sa environment. Okay, so, ginaguide din namin kayo. Okay, medyo emotional yung topic, pero pwede mo siyang i-divert into something that's not that emotional. Right? Filter out mo yung mga sagot na sa tingin mong mapapaiyak ka. Okay? Pero kung gusto mo naman talagang tukawin yung damdamin ng examiner, pwede rin naman. Make sure lang na your uhog will not get in the way. Kasi ako, yung simon mo, doon na lang mag-focus si examiner kasi hindi ka na talaga nakasagot ng maayos. So, meron akong student before, nakapasa siya, and yun nga, medyo dramatic yung naging sagot niya, pero okay naman. Kasi yun din naman hinahanap ng examiner, yung genuine answers mo. Okay? Can you describe your family? Sinagot ko na yan kanina. Talk about general facts first. I have a small family. In fact, I'm an only child. Both my parents are already gone, so now I live with my husband. Yes, we still have a small family because it's just the two of us as of now. We don't have kids yet. Ganun lang kasimple. Okay? Ngayon, kapag married ka na, or you have a common law partner. Ma'am, ano yung common law partner? Live-in partner. Apparently, hindi appropriate yung term na live-in partner. Filipino slang lang yon. Ang tamang term doon ay common law partner. Okay? Kapag nagsasama kayo sa under one roof pero hindi kayo kasal, common law partner. Magkaiba yun sa spouse. Kasi a spouse is someone you're already legally married to. Okay? So, kapag kasal ka na, talk about your immediate family, your wife, husband, and your kids. Kapag binata, dalaga, talk about your immediate family, which is your parents and your siblings. Okay? Ngayon, kapag common law partner, mamili ka. Gusto mo bang yung sa parents na family mo or yung family mo lang? Don't complicate it too much. Pili ka lang ng isa kasi if you combine, malilito ka. Alright? So make up your mind. What do you want to talk about? Of course, talk about the simple answers. Hindi yung mga sagot na mag-hesitate kang i-share kasi ayaw mong i-share, nahihiya kang i-share na you're living with someone without getting married yet, ganon. So, kapag may mga hesitation ka sa mga sagot mo, i-filter out mo na siya. Doon ka na sa mas safe na sagot. Yung hindi ka mauutal-utal, yung hindi ka mamamali sa vocab. Yun naman talaga yung key dito sa IELTS speaking, okay? So questions will also revolve about your daily routine. And then, yan. Marami pang ibang topics na pwede sa part 1 Hindi ko lang talaga na isama lahat dito. Pwedeng about your childhood, about birthdays, about books, about traveling. Marami pang iba. But basically, it's all about you. Personal questions. Okay? Now, speaking part 2. May heads up lang ako kasi ang binigay ko na example dito. Describe a person you admire. Always remember na yung tanong sa inyo sa task 2, magiging continuation siya sa task 3. So, yan. Mamaya makikita nyo yung connection, okay? So for now, punta muna tayo sa task part 2. Okay. May kaiba ang part 1 tsaka 2. Okay? After, bibigyan ka naman ng cue ni examiner. Alright, now we will move on to the second part of your speaking test. Okay? So, sa speaking part 2, bibigyan ka ng task card. Hindi literal na ibibigay. Ipa-flash lang sa screen. Okay? Huwag mo nang kokopyahin. Kasi bukod doon, bibigyan ka rin ng actual scratch paper and pencil ng test invigilator. Si test invigilator, yun yung mga nag-a-assist at minomonitor kung may leakage ba or whatsoever yung nangyayari. So, ano naman siya to assist you? Papakita niya sa'yo yung scratch paper mo, yung pencil mo, and then leave. Kasi kayong dalawa lang talaga ni examiner ang nasa room. Okay? So, you only have 1 minute to prepare. Again, wag nang kopyahin yung task card na makikita. Ito yon. Yan yung sample ng task card. You don't need to copy it because it will be flashing on your screen all throughout task 2 or part 2. Okay? Anong gagawin sa papel, ma'am? Titigan lang ba yun? Hindi. Gagawin bang paper plane? Hindi. Siyempre, gagamitin mo yon to take down notes. Baka sakali kasi may makalimutan ka. Pero hindi ka magsusulat ng essay doon. 1 minute lang makakapagsulat ka ng essay. I mean, that's not possible, right? Ang isusulat mo doon sa paper ay outline ng sagot mo. Okay? So, meron namang corresponding questions naman. May main question, tapos may bullet questions. So, maglagay ka lang ng keyword. For example, the person I admire, pangalan niya, Vivian Chang. Vivian Chang, okay? What is she? She's an author, a painter, an artist, musical artist, mga ganyan. Okay, sulat mo yung mga yon para meron kang tinitingnan kung sakali mang makalimutan mo. 'Di ba? Keywords lang ang isusulat, hindi sentences. Kasi iniiwasan natin dito na magbasa kayo. The examiner does not want you to memorize anything or doesn't want you to read anything. Because in the speaking test, you will be assessed according to your spontaneity. Kung gaano ka spontaneous. Kung kaya mo bang i-handle yung different topics within the conversation or within the interview. Okay? So, you are given 1 minute preparation time. And ideally, you have to answer for 2 minutes. Tuloy-tuloy ka lang magsasalita for 2 minutes. Okay? Paano mo malalaman kung 2 minutes na? May timer ba dun, ma'am? Wala. Walang timer. Pero, if nagpa-practice ka, matatansya mo na yung 2 minutes. And another cue para malaman mo na na-reach mo na yung 2 minutes, ibig sabihin nun, kinat ka na ni examiner. Like, okay. Tapos magpo-follow up question siya. Ibig sabihin nun, okay, you reach 2 minutes, baka nga sumabra ka pa, pero hinayaan ka lang yung magsalita. But if ika-cut off ka niya, it doesn't mean na mali yung sagot mo or naiinis siya sa mga sagot mo kaya in-interrupt ka niya. It simply means that you're done. You exhausted the 2 minutes. Now it's time to move on. Hindi lang ikaw yung magte-take ng speaking test. So, yon. Magpo-follow up questions na siya related to your topic on task 2. Alright. So it will last 3 to 4 minutes, including the preparation time. Again, hindi mo na kailangang antayin na magtanong si examiner kasi pag tapos na yung 1 minute preparation mo, you will start and then you will talk until 2 minutes at antayin mo siyang i-interrupt ka. So, in speaking part 2, this part tests your ability to speak at length on a given topic using appropriate language and organizing your ideas logically. Okay? Logically meaning may sense yung sinasabi mo at hindi ka na off topic. May cases kasi na nasagot mo na lahat ng nandito pero may time ka pa. Kaya nga tuturuan namin kayo kung paano nyo sasagutin ng maayos. Alright? So, describe a person you admire. Who the person is, how you know him, her, what he, she is like, characteristics, traits, and explain why you admire this person. Okay? Akala nyo ba, simple lang to, ganito yung ideal answer o ganyan kahaba. Who would like to volunteer reading? What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay, could you please read it? Yeah, you can sit down if you want. Sige. Can you read it properly?
The person I really admire is my mother. I've known her, of course, since the day I was born, and she has been the biggest influence in my life. I grew up watching how she handled everything in our family, and I realized that she's one of the strongest and most caring people I know. My mother is a very patient and hardworking woman. She wakes up early every day, manage the house, and still find time to check on each of us. She's also someone who stay calm during a stressful situation, which is something I truly admire. No matter how busy she is, she always listens carefully when someone needs help or advice. One of the things I like most about her is her positive attitude. Even when life gets difficult, she chooses to stay hopeful and encourage us to do the same. She's not a loud or dramatic person. Instead, gentle, understanding, and very responsible. She never complains, but she always gives her best in everything she does. I admire her because she has shown me what real strength looks like, not in big action, but in small everyday choices. She taught me to be patient, to work hard, and to treat others with kindness whenever I face challenges in life. I always think about how she would handle the situation and is and it motivates me to keep going. I hope that in the future I can be even half as strong and caring as she is.
Okay, 2 minutes na yon. Ano sabi niya? Nakakapagod daw. Natawa naman ako sa feedback na yun. So anyways, that's the ideal length of your answer on task 2. Pero kung babagalan mo lang yung speaking pace mo, hindi naman ganyan kahaba kailangan. Alright, describe a person you admire. So, ang una niyang sagot dito, direct to the point na siya agad. Kung mapapansin nyo, the person I really admire is my mother. Wala nang maraming paligoy-ligoy. Sinabi na niya agad kung sino. So, sinagot na niya yung tanong na, who the person is. And then, sa second paragraph, how you know him, her, and the positive traits on the third paragraph. And on the last paragraph, explain why you admire this person. So kung mapapansin nyo, lahat ng nasa bullet questions incorporated sa sagot na to. So that's how important it is for you to incorporate all the answers to those questions. Bawal kang may mamiss na bullet points or else you're gonna be getting a lot of point deductions. All right? So how would you answer this? Most of the time, yung iba sa atin, mag-iisip tayo ng celebrity. But do you really know that person much? Pero dito may mga uso ngayon na nag-idolize ng mga K-pop. Sino dito mga K-pop fans? Or probably you like someone, like an author. Are you into reading books? Or ano yung initial yung may isip pag ito yung tanong na lumabas? Describe a person you admire. Parents agad, no?
Or friends na naging successful siya.
Successful friends. Okay, that's good. Who else?
Sports.
Yeah, players. Okay, yes, that's right. If you're going to mention athletes or famous players in internationally playing, you have to also know details about their lives, right? So, it's tricky. If you're not sure kung alam mo, kung kaya mo talagang gawing lengthy yung sagot, it's much better for you to choose a safer option, which is yun nga, family members. You tend to know more about them, right?
You would be sure.
Your partner? Pwede rin naman. Kung ka-admire siya. I'm sorry?
I mean, sabi niya, athletics and sports, LeBron James, this, from college to NBA, pwede ba yung from she was in college as a star player and then until he become the NBA player and famous. So pwede rin naman siguro as as admire.
Yeah. You can talk about a famous player, basta anyone, public figure pwede. Basta you're sure that you know that person well. Or you can prolong your answers up to 2 minutes. Okay? Pwede rin naman, I admire myself. Huy! I'm just kidding. A person you admire nga, diba? So, not yourself. Not yourself. Ibang tao dapat to. Huwag masyadong feeling. Okay. Let's try this one. Describe a place you would like to visit in the future. If you notice, you need to use future tenses because it's a hypothetical question, meaning hindi pa siya nangyayari, gagawin mo pa lang. So you need to use future tense. So, what the place is or where it is, why you want to go there, what you know about the place already, and explain how you would feel if you could visit it. Ano yung unang pumasok sa isip niyo nung nabasa niyo yung tanong na yan? Switzerland. Okay, I've been getting that answer a lot. Alongside Japan, New York, where else? There was this person, I asked that person, if you were going to take me on a vacation, which countries would you pick for me? So he said Switzerland, Japan, and Singapore. And I asked him why. And he said, because you fit those places. Well, reminiscing. Nostalgic. Okay. So, ano yung unang pumasok sa isip niyo? Okay. It's easy to talk about. And actually, that's the sample answer. A place I would like to visit in the future is Japan. Kung mapapansin niyo, lahat ng intro, direct to the point agad yung sagot. Wala mo nang paligoy-ligoy. I've been interested in Japanese culture for many years, and it has always been one of my dream destinations. Japan is located in East Asia, and it's known for its mix of modern cities and traditional culture. One of the main reasons I want to go there is because of its unique beauty. I've seen countless photos and videos of cherry blossoms in spring, and they look absolutely stunning. I also want to experience the peaceful temples, the beautiful gardens, and the traditional houses. Another reason is the food I love. I love Japanese dishes like ramen, sushi, and tempura, and I think it would be exciting to try them in their home country. So, nasagot niya agad yung tanong na, why you want to go there, right? Maraming reasons. Because of the architecture, because of nature, because of the food, and because of the culture. So, you have to name reasons. So, hindi lang siya basta-basta apat na tanong. Bawat tanong, pwede mo siyang dagdagan ng more reasons para umabot ng 2 minutes yung sagot mo. I'll continue. I know that Japan is also very clean, safe, and organized. The transportation system is one of the best in the world, especially the bullet trains. I have heard that people are very polite and respectful, which makes the country even more appealing. I also know that Japan has amazing shopping areas, exciting places like Tokyo, Disneyland, and relaxing hot springs called onsen. Ayun yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na kapag hindi mo masyadong kayang bigyan ng details yung sagot mo, baguhin mo. I mean, filter out yung answer mo. Okay? So, in this case, alam niya kasi yung iba't ibang libutan sa Japan. Right? So, if I mention mo, my dream destination is Switzerland. Can you really elaborate it? Or dapat paghandaan mo siya? Okay? So, kahit na gusto mo ang pumunta ng Spain, pero wala kang masyadong alam isagot doon, baguhin mo na lang, sabihin mo na lang, Thailand! Sawadika! Right? So, ayan. Last paragraph. If I had the chance to finally visit Japan, I think I would feel extremely happy and excited It would be like a dream coming true because I wanted to go there for a long time. I would love to walk around the streets of Tokyo, try authentic Japanese food, and take a lot of photos of the beautiful places. I think visiting Japan would give me unforgettable memories and a deeper understanding of a culture I truly admire. So, yun yung last question na explain how you would feel if you could visit it. Okay. Why don't you try this? Okay. I want you, may mga notes ba kayo or anything? So, I'll give you 1 minute. You can use your phones. Your phones have notes, right? I'll give you 1 minute and try to come up with a 2 minute answer for this. Just outline your ideas, okay? Okay, back. Okay. So did you come up with an answer? Does anyone want to volunteer? A gift that you received that was special. So your answer must last for 2 minutes, okay? So if you want to practice on your own, mag-set lang kayo ng timer or i-record nyo yung sagot nyo sa phone nyo. Okay? So all your phones have a recorder or a voice memo app, right? Let's check how many minutes it's gonna take. Okay, anyone who wants to volunteer their answers? Parang gusto mag-volunteer ni sir.
Sige.
Try niyo lang po. Ready?
Okay. Last month, November 3, 2005, it's my birthday, and then I was surprisingly, my wife gave me the gift that I didn't expect that more, but it was special for me. And um, it's that the gifts long time ago that I told her was, but and that in that day that um in that day that I celebrate my birthday, so she had that gift is the oh my god, there's no trouble, and it's only my thought that I'm not putting the you know um copy in my phone, so that's it. I'll just practice that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so you mentioned who the gift is from.
Yeah.
Okay, so our main topic is a gift that you received that was special. However, if you notice, we were waiting for you to answer, what's the gift? Lahat po kayo nakabang na kanina. Okay, so can you tell us what the gift is?
The gift is something like I wanted like the land, like
Ah, okay. Why are you hesitant to mention it?
yeah, I because it's
It's okay.
special, but yeah, but I'm not elaborate, the things that she was giving to me. So yeah, that's why I'm not mentioning it land. But actually, it's real. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what you call hesitation.
Yeah.
Okay? He is hesitating to give his answer because he's thinking, ay, baka nakakahiya, baka sabihin ng examiner, ang yabang ko naman, ganun, di ba? But no, the examiner would more appreciate your answer if it's direct to the point. Okay? Kasi kailangan mo talagang sagutin what the gift is. That's the first question here. So, my wife gave me a property, a land property as a gift for my birthday. It's okay. Walang problema doon. My husband gave me a diamond pair of diamond earrings. Okay lang yun. Doesn't matter. The examiner doesn't care if it's big or small. The examiner only cares if you can deliver your thoughts effectively. That's the only thing that the examiner cares about. Wala siyang pakialam kung medyo mayabang yung dating sa'yo, kaya nahihiya ka, baka sabihin, nagyayabang ka kasi ito yung regalo sa akin. No, doesn't matter. Whatever gift it is, subjective kasi itong tanong na to. Special for you. Bakit siya special? Because this is something that I've really wanted for a long time. And finally, I was able to get it as a gift from a special person. So, paano naging special sa'yo yung gift na yun? Because it's something that you've really wanted for a long time, and it came from someone so special, which is, who is your wife? Diba? So, add ka na lang ng more details, like when you received it, and explain why it was special. So, if you start explaining why it's special, i-explain mo na ngayon, what could you do with that gift? What's the importance of that gift or yung value ng gift na yun. So, you can go on and say that it's a really good investment for the both of us since we're married and it's a conjugal property. So, in the future, our kids can actually, ano yung sa English yung mamanahin? Inherit. Thank you naman so much. Dito pa talaga guys sa mga bagong students. Okay, so, there. Diba? I-expound mo pa lalo yung sagot mo. So, how about you guys? Ano yung gift na naisip nyo? O wala nang gustong sumagot kasi lupa ba naman yung natanggap niya?
Yeah.
No, as I said, it doesn't really matter how small. It doesn't matter. The value of your gift, the gift that you receive, does not matter. What matters here is how you are able to deliver your answer in an effective and smooth manner. Okay?
Ang try ko nga ito mo.
Sure. Sige, go. By the way, I did not ask your name again. Please tell me.
Alden. I'm Alden Fernandez.
Alden. Pero pinag-isipan niya pa muna. Kasi mga... Okay, Alden and Lara na lang. Lara?
Zara.
Zara? Ikaw yung dati kumatin sa Zoom, di ba? Or hindi? Di ba? Okay. Kapangalan mo lang. Alden, Zara, Des, Angela, and Camille. Hopefully, maalala ko pa rin yan hanggang next time. Alden, Zara, Des, Angela, and Camille. All right. So, go ahead.
Try lang to
Yeah, sure. Okay.
The special gift I received is when my girlfriend booked a Boracay stay for my last birthday. She booked a hotel and ticket not only for me, but she also bought tickets and hotel for my whole family. During our stay in Boracay, there's a lot of activities we shared, like island hopping, kayaking, and even the parasailing, which is really extremely exciting. This is really memorable because this is also the first time that my parents able to fly and ride in an airplane, which is one of their dream ever since. So that's why I am very happy and grateful for my girlfriend for doing this. It's a gift that came from a special person, like her, and that's why it's a very special gift for me.
It's a really good answer. Why? In-apply niya lahat ng suggestions ko kanina, which is say what the gift is, direct to the point. Diba? And then, minention din niya kung kanino galing. Minention din niya kung para saan or kailan niya na-receive on your birthday, right? And then, inelaborate din niya kung bakit special yung gift na yon. You added details such as your parents, your family members were part of it, of the trip, and then it's their first time flying on a plane, and then it's a core memory unlocked, something like that. So yes, but it did not reach 2 minutes. That's why proper pacing in speaking is advisable. So this is also a sample 2-minute answer. Pero sige, sasagutin ko na to.
Pwede ko bang bagalan?
Yeah, it's better. Okay? It's better if you slow down so that hindi ka rin magkamali. All right? When you slow down your speaking pace, less mistakes because mapag-iisipan mo pa mabuti kung ano yung sasabihin mo. All right? Ganyan kahaba guys yung 2-minute answer. Sige, try natin i-timer. Okay. One special gift I received was a simple silver bracelet from my best friend. It's not a very expensive gift, but it has a lot of meaning behind it, which is why I treasure it so much. The bracelet has a small charm shaped like a heart, and inside the charm, there's a tiny engraving that says, always. I received this gift on my birthday last year. At this time, I was going through a stressful period in my life, and I wasn't expecting anything special. My best friend surprised me by inviting me out for a simple dinner, and after we ate, she gave me a small box. When I opened it and saw the bracelet, I felt really touched because she put so much thought into choosing something meaningful. She told me that the charm represented our long friendship and that the word always was a reminder that she would always support me no matter what challenges I face. What made the gift even more special was the timing. I really needed emotional support during that moment, and her gesture made me feel valued and understood. I admire how she knows me so well and chooses gifts that have a deeper message. I don't wear the bracelet every day because I want to keep it safe, but I do take it out during important occasions or when I feel like I need a little encouragement. For me, this gift is special not because of its price, but because of the love, care, and friendship it represents. Every time I look at it, I'm reminded of how lucky I am to have someone like her in my life. Sakto, 2 minutes. Right? Pero syempre, as I said earlier, kung mas mabagal yung speaking pace nyo, hindi naman naabutin ng ganyan kahaba. Kasi sa totoo lang, super daming details ito. Okay? Now we will move on to the last part. Oh, pag natapos natin to, ibig sabihin, may time pa ako for coaching. So, who wants to stay for coaching? Oh, okay, Jason and Alden. All right. So now we're down to the last part of the speaking test, which is the discussion. So sa part 3, you have to expect that it's a continuation of the topic in part 2. But this time, questions are more abstract and greater depth. Mas malalalim yung mga tanong, okay? This will last 4 to 5 minutes. Mas matagal din to, okay? What skills are tested? This part tests your ability to explain your opinions, to analyze, discuss, and speculate about issues. So, kailangan nyo talaga ng more awareness sa social issues. Don't worry, political and religious questions will not be asked on this part. But do update yourselves with what's happening globally. Environmental issues, about world leaders, lumalabas din yan. World organizations, social issues. Okay, you have to be aware. So you really need to invest time reading articles, news. If you don't want to read, you can basically watch videos, okay? So, yung una nating tanong kanina is describe a person you admire sa part 2, right? Ito yung pwedeng mga tanong sa part 3. So, if yung makuha mong task card is itong first sample natin, which is describe a person you admire. Ito yung mga possible na lumabas na tanong. Why do people admire others? What qualities make a person admirable? O, diba? Mas complex na ngayon yung kailangan mong isagot. What are the qualities? Kapag ganito, itatest dito yung organizational skills mo. Qualities, meaning 2 or more. So you have to mention 2 or more qualities that you find admirable on a person. Okay? So, kung ako sa inyo, isip na agad kayo ng qualities, and after that, explain one by one. All right. So, of course, intelligent. Being intelligent, being kind-hearted could be one of the qualities. What else? What other qualities do you find admirable on a person? Intelligent, kind-hearted, generous. Okay. Now, when you already enumerated the qualities that you like, that you find admirable on a person, now explain each. Kasi akala ng lahat, pagdating sa task 3 or sa part 3 ng speaking, okay, patapos na to, okay na, kahit XN ko lang yung masagot ko. No! In fact, you have to provide lengthier answers on task 3. Kasi ano talaga yung totoong test? Yung 1, warm-up lang yun. Yung 2, okay, tinetest ka na rin doon. Pero sa 3 ka talaga matetest yung speaking skills mo, kung gaano ka leveled up, diba? Okay? So, huwag mong isipin, huwag mong i-underestimate na porket last part na to ng interview, kahit ano na lang yung isagot mo. Kailangan dito mo mas pag-isipan yung mga sagot mo. Okay? So, there are traits that I find very admirable on a person. One of them is being intelligent. Then, the next one is kind-heartedness. And lastly, being generous. I-enumerate nyo muna para clear. At saka para matandaan nyo, kasi mamaya makakalimutan nyo. Okay, so, discuss about intelligence. When a person shows intellectual skills, I really admire that person because I find the topics that we talk about very interesting. I'm the kind of person who is also very into academic topics and discussing a lot of social issues. So if the person is someone who's intellectual, I really easily admire that person. Okay? Second is being kind-hearted. Elaborate mo rin. Intelligence doesn't matter if the person doesn't have a kind heart. And I believe being kind-hearted is quite rare nowadays because we're living in a very fast-paced industry and society. So I feel like not a lot of people show much genuine care towards others. So if I see that a person is kind-hearted, I easily look up to them. And lastly, being generous. Being generous is not always linked about giving money to people or donating money to charity. Generosity is also about extending help in every way that you can. And I feel like if a person has a generous heart, that person can actually touch lives and create a good impact to other people. So that's why I easily admire a person who's generous. O di ba ang haba ng sagot? Ganun kasi talaga dapat sa task 3. Organized. Di ba? Sabihin mo yung qualities na gusto mo, that you find admirable on a person, and then elaborate each. Kung gusto mo pang mas pahabain, pwede mo rin namang dagdagan ng examples. For example, I admire my colleague, Anna, because she's part of this charity. And I heard that she donated her 13th-month pay. Very generous, di ba? O, di ba nagbigay ka ng example ng generosity? Yun yung hinahanap ni examiner. Na nare-relate mo yung ideas at saka mga answers mo. Pwede rin maging ang tanong sa'yo, do people usually admire famous individuals or people they know personally? Ano sa tingin niyo yung sagot? Famous individuals or people that they know personally? Who do you admire? My answer would be a person that I know personally. Someone, an individual that I know personally. Because you know, it's, yeah, you can explain it further. Kasi yung mga taong famous, sometimes you're not sure if that's genuine, right? Kasi minsan yung iba, they were assigned as an ambassador for that specific movement or organization, but they're doing it for different purposes, right? Like for exposure or di natin alam. But if you admire someone that you personally know, you can talk more about that person, right? Pero depende pa rin sa inyo yun. Kung talagang kilalang, like sabihin natin si Catriona Gray. She's a public figure. We know her history, her fame, story. And until now, she's advocating for a lot of organizations. So we know a lot about her. Okay? Kayo, kung sino ba yung mga ina-admire yung celebrities? And the question could also develop, how does admiring someone influence people's behavior? Parang hirap isipin, no? So, are you prepared to answer that question? How does admiring someone influence people's behavior? So, you can start by saying, I really believe that it could influence my behavior a lot because the people that I choose to admire are always linked to my own characteristics and traits, and also my own interests. So if I am more likely to follow and to let that person influence me, it's because I'm also interested in that person's life and advocacy. So the tendency is the more the more exposed I am to that person or to that person's life, the more of her or his life I can use in mine. The values that the person has, the habits that they have, I tend to imitate them and I tend to imitate them and use them as a template. Okay? Parang ganun. Alright? Do children today admire different people compared to the past? Yes. Because nowadays, ang mga ina-admire ng mga bata ay yung mga nakikita nila, napapanood nila sa social media, the TV.
Like, for example, na may mga babies lang. It's Rachel.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Miss Rachel, do children today admire? Before, we didn't have access to YouTube and a lot of social media. Or pwede nyo rin i-compare. When we were children, we used to admire Mr. Bean. But now kids admire Miss Rachel. That's why kids now have better communication skills. Kasi si Mr. Bean, di naman nagsasalita, di ba? Ayan. So, kanina, yung pangalawang tanong is... Naalala niyo pa ba yung pangalawang tanong?
Special gift.
A place that you would like to visit in the future. Ito yung mga posibleng lumabas na tanong sa part 3. How does tourism benefit a country? Lakas baka Miss Universe talaga ng mga tanong eh. Are there any negative effects of tourism? Should governments limit the number of tourists in some places? Why is experiencing new cultures important? Do people learn more from traveling than from reading books or watching videos? How can tourists show respect for local culture? Pinapakita ko sa inyo yung mga posibleng lumabas na sagot kapag yun yung topic sa part 2. Para alam nyo kung paano i-navigate yung thoughts nyo from basic to more complex questions, okay? How does tourism benefit a country? Actually, diniscuss to sa akin ng isa kong friend. So, the more media exposure a country has, the higher the tourism will get. Okay. And tourism plays a big factor in the economic growth of a country. We know that because we're a country with our economy depends highly on tourism nowadays, right? So you can explain that. So, of course, a lot of businesses are opening because of tourism. A lot of people are getting hired in jobs. So that's how tourism benefits a country. It will grow economically, right? So yung mga ganong level ng vocabulary and lexical resource, kailangan paghandaan niyo siya sa task 3. Okay? And lastly, gift giving. Special gift, yung topic natin, yung third topic natin sa task 2. So ito yung mga posibleng tanong. What kinds of gifts, dito ako sa number 2. What kinds of gifts do people usually give on birthdays or weddings? Ano daw yung mga common na regalo na natatanggap or binibigay ng mga Pilipino kapag may mga okasyon?
Cash.
Ice cream. Ganun. Yes, cash. That's right. Monetary. Monetary gifts. Or what else? Properties. Grabe naman yung property. How about bouquet of flowers? For example, in celebrations like graduation or Valentine's. Pero ang tanong kasi birthdays or weddings eh. So, pag birthdays, siguro monetary gifts.
Cars.
Cars. Pwede din, pwede. So, yung mga influencers, they give cars to their family members, right? What else? Trips. Travel, right? And what else? Clothes, okay. So weddings naman, home appliances, furniture. What else?
Birthdays, mga gadgets.
Monetary gifts. Oh yeah, gadgets. Yes, gadgets as well. Weddings usually
It's just
more on monetary talaga eh, no? Monetary gifts. Gift giving traditions. What are the gift giving traditions in the Philippines? On weddings, we have what you call yung pinipin sa gown. Ano tawag doon?
Sayaw.
They're the couple or the groom and the bride are dancing on the wedding hall and then parang sinasabitan sila ng mga cash. Ano tawag? Pinning ceremony. Charis. Pinning ceremony.
actually yun lang yun ko eh. Sabi din.
Pasabit ang tawag doon. Oh, really? What? I wonder what it's called in English though. Money pinning. What else? Yung mga ano, di ba, pag mga kasal, yung pamana, like, I'm gonna give you this jewelry, which is inherited from my grandparents, from my ancestors. Ano ba yung mga gift giving traditions? Yung lechon, right? Like, for example, your grandmother said, okay, sagot ko na yung lechon. Ako na bahala dyan. Ganun, okay? So, anyways, we're gonna end with this slide. 4 tips to improve your band score in speaking. Undergo a minimum of 10 coaching sessions. 10. Mamagdami naman. If you're gonna stay here for 3 to 4 months and you're gonna undergo coaching sessions every week, ma-achieve mo yan after 2.5 months. Kasi a month has 4 weeks. So if you attend coaching sessions of those 4 weeks, so 4 plus 4, 8, and then 2.5, right? 2.5 months, meron ka ng enough confidence and familiarity in undergoing your interview. And of course, you have to practice speaking English regularly, meaning araw-araw. Speak English every day. Kung pwede nga 24/7 eh. Okay? Attend speaking related lectures face-to-face or via Zoom. Okay. Actually, this lecture is prerequisite for tomorrow's activity. Tomorrow, you have access to the computer room. Ibig sabihin, pwede kayo mag-mock test, listening, reading, and writing. And then, meron din speaking one-on-one tomorrow. But if you're not going to be here tomorrow, probably, I don't know, if Friday or Saturday nandito ako. But alternate lang kami ni Sir Kevin. So if siya yung nandito tomorrow, probably I'm going to be here on Friday, something like that. So who's going to stay today for coaching? Jason and Alden only, right? So tomorrow, agahan nyo. 9 a.m. punta na kayo dito para mauna kayo sa listahan, okay?
Tomorrow, until what time tomorrow?
Siguro
9 to
12.
12,
Yes.
just for the like actual test, right? In computer.
Yep.
And then after that, another.
No.
Wait.
Mauuna po kayo sa listahan. Ipapalista kayo ni Sir Kevin. So, 1 to 7, ano muna, coaching muna. Pag okay na, then pwede na kayo mag-proceed sa computer room and take the mock test. So, if gusto niyo naman sa ibang araw, pwede rin naman. Basta available din siya.
Ma'am, for example, kasi may mag-vacation, for example, by January kasi plan namin.
Okay.
Kaya doon sana namin madalas yung coaching. Actually,
Sure.
gusto namin din.
Ha?
Actually, gusto sana namin. Mas madalas yung speaking coaching.
That's good.
So, if ever po na available kayo.